I think that's a record. 7 times I had to restart this video. First couple, had my Starbucks yet. I was rushing around with Ollie. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I had to drop him off at 9 o'clock game. Got to be there at 8. I'm not a super punctual person, as you may have figured out. But I wanted to have him early for this game. And as I told him, I didn't want to give him that big pep talk. I just want the kid to have fun. But at the same time, I thought it was important to remind him, hey, this tournament is the last time you're going to play with these kids. You know, who knows? The tryouts are likely going to be the same. Maybe the team is going to be the same, but you can't take any of that for granted. So make sure you leave it all on the field. Make sure you pay attention the whole game. Have some fun. I think that's fair, right? Anyway, I just very proud of the way that entire team. Yeah, it's so nice to, obviously winning feels good. You guys know that, but it's nice to watch your kids play a sport they like, that they're good at, and that they can excel at. And you know, all those kids are doing a great job right now here in Windsor. It was nice to see our clients, a number of our clients, come out to watch them play yesterday, which was cool. And I hope they come out again today. So this weekend actually is about Ollie. It is about baseball, but we do have horses racing. I brought you a video yesterday. My apologies. I thought I had loaded that video and I did not. So you didn't get it till this morning. In fact, it's just loading right now. Drebin, I thought, raced great. Patrick DePrano raced as good as he could from post 9, and 3 Point Blue Chip finishing 3rd. I thought he raced well also. I am and was happy with all 3 of those horses. Yeah, I noticed 3 Point Blue Chip, when he's not racing every week, it's tough to train him in between starts. So I think the best way to manage him going forward is, you know, you want to race him every 7 days, but maybe have gaps, chunks, where there's like 3 weeks he doesn't race, and then you can school him the week before. He's just not a great trainer. Never has been in his entire life. So I thought he raced well yesterday, and I'm sure he'll race well moving forward. Now, I'll start with the other reason I started a bunch of these videos. I just wasn't happy with the way I was conveying my feelings towards Rock Shining Star. And it's a touchy subject. I think I'll preface it by saying this. Mohawk is probably one of the toughest places to race on planet Earth. Now, I guess I can't speak for outside North America. In North America, it is one of the toughest places to race anywhere. You know, you have horses that race tough at Yonkers because that's where all the money is. You have horses that race tough in Ohio. There's lots of money there. Anywhere there's money, you're going to have good horses, but you always have these hard opens. And I don't care how good you are. It is very difficult to import a horse from another jurisdiction to Ontario and think that you are going to make what I like to call and like to use all the time when we try and do it, that immediate impact at Mohawk. No, you're not going to see that very often. You just aren't. Now, Rock Shining Star is not a horse you take back to 9th. James said he was really hot. He was trying to get him settled down and relax, and he was on the left line pretty good. Okay. I can't speak to that. All I know is that he wasn't making any noise or being hot or anything like that in the meadows. Put him on the gate, let him pace out, drop in the 4-hole, ended our 5-hole, ended up with cover, and ended up winning the race. He did everything he was supposed to do at the meadows. The meadows is a little softer than Mohawk, and that's not any disrespect to the meadows. The reality of the situation is Mohawk's a super tough place to race. So my initial statement was, and it come off as kind of a blunt way, and I didn't want that, was that, well, we'll just move him back to the meadows. Listen, Harry wants good horses. Nellie loves taking care of horses in general, especially loves taking care of good horses. And to take a horse away from them is kind of tough, right? And it hurts. But at the same time, they have to understand, and they do, they both do, 100%, is that we have to do what's best for the stable. My job is to put the horses in the right place to do the best they can. And expect that our trainers, and if I'm not driving, our drivers, do that. If all that works well, if we have good horses in the right class with a good driver and a good trip, and the horse is sound and healthy going in, then we should do well, right? That's the equation. It's not rocket science. It's not the Colonel's secret recipe. And last night, he was not in the right place to do the right work. And the result was not favorable. But you know what? We can fix that. We'll reassess that over the next couple of days, and we will move forward with Rock Shining Star either in Mohawk, which at this point, quite frankly, is unlikely, or we'll just ship him back to the meadows where we already know he can do good. problem solved. It's not the end of the world. As I said to Harry, we have lots of horses coming in. We have the horses coming from Australia and New Zealand also. That should be able to do some good. So we should be fine moving forward. No free lunch, pretty simple. Put him in where he can win. If he's not the favorite going on the track in the 12th, then he shouldn't be in the 12th. 8, 10, I don't care. Just put the horse in where he can win. And I'm sure he will. Just leave it on the hood, honey, and I'll run it over to the laundromat. 1 sec. Here's your drinks.
Okay, 1 sec.
There's that one. There's that one.
Yep.
There you go. I got a couple of waters here for Ollie. I got them. I'll bring them over and give them to him. No big deal. You guys can go over now. I'll drop this off the laundromat. My suits were...
I'll take one of those right now.
Okay.
Or I'll put them in the cooler.
Okay, yep. So, racing in the monsoon. Got some muddy and dirty suits that I have to get cleaned up. So I went to the laundromat. I was pulling in, and I looked on the window and it said, if you're too busy, we can do it for you. Found my place. No free lunch. And again, this isn't Stacy's fault. But it's I'm trying to make everybody's job easy. Put the horses in where they can win. If no free lunch goes on the track at 9 to 5, he'll probably do good. If he goes on the track at 8 to 1, probably in for a rough evening.
Do you have my Stanley cup?
Yes, I do. Have your Stanley cup. Have your giant bucket with the straw in it. Everybody needs a Stanley cup these days. So, Rock Shining Star, very similar. We just got to put him in a class he can win. And if he can't do it at Mohawk, I have zero interest in it. I'm going to have somebody say, well, it's going to drop money off and then move down. I'm not playing class ladder. I hate that game so much, and I have no interest in playing it. Well, race him, and then he gets up tough, and then he gets run over for 3 starts. But you know what? He drops that money off so he can go back down. No, I focus on the 3 starts we just wasted getting back down. I don't like playing that game. We race horses everywhere. If horses get up where they can't do somewhere, we should be able to move them where they can do somewhere else. That would be a much better game. But first and foremost, we have to get the horse back on the tracks, right? Not a big deal. Last night was something that happened. It's not the end of the world, and we can fix it and move forward. We already know where he can race good, and that's exactly what we're going to do. In regards to no free lunch, fine. It's not the end of the world. Can't do in the 12-5. Put him in the 10. Put him in the 8. Just get him in where he can do. Because those older classy horses, when you race them where they have to be 100% right now, whatever that form of them is, it's hard on them. You want to keep a horse that's had injuries, that was recovering from injuries, and you don't want them to re-injure themselves, race them where 90% gets them to the winner's circle. If you can do that, that horse will stay sound and you'll do good. George of the Jungle, I know somebody messaged me, said this horse is a better horse than this. Okay. Well, here, I'll pose you this question. If you have a horse that races very similar for 10 to 12 starts, is it more likely that that's the horse or the horse that was really good a couple of starts? Now, when he come out, first out of the gate, no hobbles on, no lays X, he tried a 56 from 27-3. That's right. So we know he can do that. My answer to that is the new broom always sweeps the best also, right? He's a big horse, big growthy horse. He's going to have some aches and pains, and he was bleeding. We have to fix both of those and then move forward with that horse also. If he had been able to race all summer chasing speed at Mohawk, finishing 5th and 6th and 4th, trotting in 56 and piece, I'm sure he could all summer. But we try to put him in a place where he can win. So you're going to see those miles in 2 minutes, 59, in those little bull ring tracks. That's just the way it is. But the idea that he's just a better horse, I just don't think the information supports that. I think he's a good horse. And I think he'll get better. The good news about George is he's a big, growthy, immature trotter. He will mature. He will get better. Absolutely he will. But to think that it should be right now in an immediate way is just not realistic. But I do think there's a much better George under the hood than we are seeing. And that's just maturity and growth. The same for Don't Talk About Bruno. Again, it looked a little rolly to me in the turns, more than usual. I noticed it right away last night, especially the last turn. And I had said, geez, I wonder if it's just the track or he needs a little vet work done. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to Dominic, but they did go in 56-4 and he was first over. Again, he's another horse. Once we get these Noumers of 4 cleared out here at Northfield, the Georges and the Don't Talk About Brunos, it is easier racing here. But when we have 4 horses, like that was the reason we were selling Victory Blue Chip and Lonely Lakewood, was to make room. Now that poses another odd thing that happened yesterday. I had a call from Mark Weaver, of all people, Weaver Buscemi, wanting to buy Prince Charmer. Why? I mean, I like Prince Charmer, but they certainly don't know anything about Prince Charmer like I do. I believe he is going to get better and better and better. In fact, the horse I almost don't want to sell. He is racing in a claimer. He does have a price. They want to buy him. So I'll try and do this as quickly as I can. They want to buy him because they can't get the sire stakes to fill. From my take, the sire stakes should race. Regardless of 2, 3, 4, 10, 12 enter. They should go behind the gate. Or 1, for that matter. But what had happened, because Spezzano was so good, because Tennessee Tom was so good, they couldn't fill the sire stakes. The rule actually is you need 5, maybe 6. I think 5, though. 5 to fill a sire stake event. They only got 4. So they didn't go with it last time. They just split the points up and didn't get any money. I don't think they got money. So obviously Burke and Mark, they're mad. He said he can't find any Ohio breds that are any good to even remotely put in. So he literally bought Prince Charmer, or was buying Prince Charmer, to race him in the sire stakes so they could fill the race. All right, fill your boots, I guess. I think Prince Charmer is going to get better and better. This horse, I can't unequivocally say he's going to get better and he's going to come back to bite us in the ass. But this guy here, I could see him getting better. And but at the same time, we do need the class space, right? We couldn't race Purple People Eater this week or Love and Affection. There was one other horse because that numbers of 4 is full. So we have to get some of the horse out of there. I didn't think it was going to be Prince Charmer, but as it turns out, a more than fair enough amount of money was offered for him, and I think we are going to sell him. But again, as we start to clean out those horses that are getting up a little bit higher, now you can move a George of the Jungle or a Don't Talk About Bruno in here, where they can. I can assure you they can make an immediate impact over here also. So we move them out of Ontario. We can buy better horses to put in Ontario. But our best horses have to be in Ontario, because there is no, and trust me when I tell you this, there is no easy racing at Mohawk. I can assure you of that. So that was George. Don't Talk About Bruno, Prince Charmer. I saved the last horse who made the most impressive impact was Save America. This horse looked amazing. You know, I'll be quite frank. Scotty told me that he loved both horses, Save America and Rock Shining Star, but he actually thought Rock Shining Star was the better of the two. And he may be. He wasn't last night, but he may be. He loved him. He thought he was a gritty, hard-nosed competitor. The other horse, the scouting report, if I'm going to be completely honest on Save America, was fast, but a bit of a coward. And it kind of performed that way at Yonkers. We did put him back on Lasix. His second start on Lasix was in PEI, and he looked anything like a coward. Anything but a coward in PEI. He looked amazing in PEI, and then had that rough trip. Not his fault. He had the 8-hole in the final. Got everything he was going to get. And then last night was his first start back, and oh my God. I'm not going to repeat what Brett Miller said to Jason, but because it's third or fourth person, it's not fair to any of them. But I will tell you this, had the utmost confidence that he could absolutely win any Open in the state of Ohio with him that was being offered at the moment. Northfield or Scioto. That was his feeling, which is impressive in its own right. Those are good horses. Carbine and those horses, those aren't pigs that he beat last night. Those are good horses. And it wasn't a straight 9-winners of 10. It was mixed up with a bunch of horses that were coming out of the Open. Those were good horses, and Brett was very enamored with him. Jason has been enamored with him since the day he got him. I just think the horses, most horses like him, when you put them in with their same competition, that's when you can see those types of horses shine. He doesn't need to be, Rambling Willie. You don't have to come first over and just run everybody into the ground. You can be a good horse and not be a very, very good horse, if that makes sense. And that's exactly what Save America is at the very least. I haven't sat behind him. Sat behind him once, I think, training or jogging or something. But I haven't sat behind him for the most part. I don't know him. But I will tell you this. Certainly an impressive-looking animal last night. So a great job by Jason. A great job by Brett. It's nice to have a horse that is at the top of his game and is one of the better horses around. Certainly looked like he was last night. Now, that wasn't the Open. He's still got a number of tests ahead of him. but certainly passed that one last night with flying colors. And I guess it is worth noting that if Scotty believes that the other horse is actually the better horse, then it's just a matter of getting him back into a place where he's comfortable also. So if that is Ontario, I have to believe that maybe that was a one and done. We'll see. I'm going to absorb that. Today is about my son and is about baseball. It is not about Rock Shining Star. The race last night is over. We'll assess it. I'll reassess it, sleep on it again, and then we'll decide what we're doing with him moving forward. But for right now, I'm off to baseball. No, I'm off to the laundromat. Then I'm off to baseball. Good luck to all my partners tonight. I'm excited about a gorgeous package. I did do the math. Put it in. I didn't. The computer did. I put it into maps. 2 hours and 40 minutes from here to there. I am going to make it no problem whatsoever for the race tonight, and hopefully a smile on my face after today. So good luck. Go Royals. I will talk to you all very soon. Take care.